What's up, guys? CryptoSavy here. I hope everybody's having a fabulous Wednesday. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin and why I think it may have bottomed, but we'll take a look at both the bearish and the bullish case scenario. You guys can make up your own mind. Also, I want to remind you guys, we have a free Discord group in the description below the video. There is a link to it. Definitely check it out. It's totally free, guys. There's also some other affiliate links down there that really help the channel out too. If you decide to use them, it's a good way to support the channel. Anyways, let's get on with the video. All right, guys, just a quick reminder, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. There is a disclaimer scrolling on the bottom. All right, so first we're going to talk about the Shapeshift crypto wallet. Kraken's saying that it can be hacked in 15 minutes. You guys can read up on it yourself. It is the KeepKey wallet, but they did come back and they denied the claim. So you guys do your own due diligence and your own research on that. I do have Ledger and ELLIPAL links down below for their hard wallets if you guys want to check them out. That's another way to help support the channel. Keep your keys in your own possession. Keep your crypto off the exchanges. Not your keys, not your crypto. And the Fear and Greed Index, we are at 20 right now. It dropped another 6 points from yesterday. So is that bullish? Possibly. We're going to take a look at that. Do want to remind you guys we're doing a free t-shirt giveaway. This is my wife's webpage, inkyyourimage.com. There's a link to that below. This is where you pick the free t-shirt. All you have to do to enter to win is make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Click the thumbs up and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think we've bottomed or not. But that'll get you entered to win on Sunday. We do a random comment pick. And this is the stuff she has in there. There's some beer koozies, coffee mugs, t-shirts. These aluminum signs are real cool. She can put anything you want on this. It doesn't have to be the ones you see here. She can put any crypto, any saying, family pictures, whatnot, anything you want on these. And if you do make an order this week of $25 or more, you'll get a free Bitcoin Christmas ornament with it. So anyways, like I said, that's a good way to help support the channel. And let's look at the headlines today. So Bitcoin price slides to 7,200 as market sentiment turns bearish. Bitcoin price predicted to skyrocket to 100,000 by 2020. Bitcoin looks south after strong rejection above 7,600. Crypto mining, Bitmain makes huge bet on Bitcoin. So it's kind of mixed. A little bit more bearish, if you ask me, in the news. But obviously, I like to be a contrarian most of the time. Let's take a look at Bitcoin on the monthly. So on the monthly, we have been looking at this and paying close attention to the 21 EMA and the 13 EMA, which we are squeezed in between. I believe a break of one of these is going to give us our next direction. The 21 EMA is right at the 70 or 7,090 range. 13 EMA as of right now is at about the 7640 range. So we'll see how this month closes. Obviously, we are still in the beginning of the month. We got quite a ways to go, getting towards the middle. But I do have this arc drawn in here, and we'll see what happens. Obviously, it can be adjusted depending on how this month closes. We'll take another look at that. Looking at the weekly, there is bearish sign here on the weekly. Before we look at the RSI, we'll take a look at this. We do have the 8 EMA coming down, looking like a bearish cross to the 21 EMA. We still have half of the week left to turn this around. I do believe it's possible we have a nice run this week and it'll keep these two from crossing. I am leaning bullish, but I'm going to show you both cases and you guys make up your own mind on which you believe or which you think might happen. Obviously, nobody knows exactly what's going to happen in the market. But I do want to point out that, as you can see in this formation that I still believe to be a bull flag, the volume is still declining, guys. And once we get some huge volume, whether it be a pop up out of this or down below, I believe that will be verification of what's going on. But like I said, the volume's still declining while we're in this. Let's look at the RSI now. So in the RSI, if you can see, this yellow line here had this drawn as a wedge, which we popped out of. And I also have this top line here, which lines up with the resistance on the top of the bull flag. We hit that, got resistance, came back down, retested this line that we popped out of on the wedge, and we're headed back up towards this now. Guys, if the weekly can break above this, I believe that's going to be pretty damn bullish. But if we look at the price action in the, let's go to the daily, and we'll look at the RSI in a minute. First, I want to look at the daily and look at our resistance up here. The top of this, if we were to get up within the next couple days, is around 9,200. If we were to break that, that's going to be extremely, extremely bullish, guys. So let's look at where we're at right now. I do have the Fibonacci's on this. I'm going to get this off of here right now. I do want to point out, and we'll look at it here in a little bit, but on the daily versus the 4 hour, this formation over here in the 4 hour is looking a lot like what we had down here. So we'll take a look at that here in a minute. All right. So if we look at the Fibonacci's I got drawn on here from the swing low up to the swing high, and where we're at right now, we're getting support on the 0.618. This zone right in here, this is the 0.65 down here, the 0.618 up here. This is the golden retrace zone or golden pocket. I refer to it as the golden pocket. We are getting support on that right now. Let's look at the bearish case. If we look at this as a rising wedge here, and a measured move of the widest point of the wedge, if we were to break down here, our measured move's about 5,900. And if we came down to retest the bottom of this support line, that would line up around December 28th. If that's the case, we could bounce back up here before breaking down, and obviously our target moves the longer we're in this formation, if that's what we're in, guys. That's the bearish case. Also, on the fibs I have drawn here, the 0.786 is right at the $5,400 range. And if we were to, you know, remain up in here and come back down and touch on the 0.786, that would be around the end of January where we would hit this. Like I said, I'm bullish, but I am going to show you both, and you guys can make up your own mind. Let's look at first we got to look at the RSI. Looking at the RSI here, this might be kind of confusing to you if you're not used to the channel. Make sure you subscribe. I do daily updates every single day, and that way you don't miss out on anything. But we had this falling channel drawn here and this rising channel that we are within now. Also, I want to point out I had this falling wedge drawn in here, which we popped out of, came back down, tested for support. That's why I do believe it is possible, guys, that we have bottomed here. Let's look at the price action and see if we see any divergence. As you can see, this here is straight across. Let me make this white so you can see it. Right here in the price action, it's straight across. And then if we look at the RSI, we're getting bullish divergence, higher highs or higher lows in the RSI. And this, when it's straight across in here, it's considered exaggerated divergence. That means most likely, guys, we're going to be seeing a huge move up here pretty soon. Possibly retest this 7,700. If that breaks, we got our next resistance at 8,000. And we'll take a look at that in the 4 hour. And then I want to show you the comparison between our bottom last year in December to what's happening now. And I do believe it may be repeating itself. All right, let's look at the 4 hour. So in the 4 hour, as you can see, I have a rising triangle here, or ascending triangle, what it seems to be forming. There's no guarantees yet, obviously. Let's look at the bearish case first. If we were to break down from where we're at now, the measured move off that, guys, would be around the 5850 to the 5900 mark. And if we were to slowly come down to retest this support, that would be around the end of December. I don't believe that's what's happening, but like I said, make up your own mind. Also, I wanted to point out that we popped up out of this falling channel here, as you can see in the yellow. We popped up out of it here, came back down and retested. The measured move off of the breakout of that, guys, was the $8,000 range. Of course, if we do get the $8,000 range, then that would break us out of this triangle, ascending triangle. What would most likely happen is we come up, test the 8,000, come back down, test the top of the triangle, and continue up from there. That is the direction I'm leaning, guys. I do believe this is getting pretty bullish here, especially with all the bearish sentiment. But like I said, we'll take a look at both cases. We had this target at 72.22, which is just the 0.618 fib. The next line of support down here is this around that 68.50 to 6900, which would be around the 14th or 15th of December. This is a good possibility, and I'm going to show you why. Let me get some of this stuff out of here. Well, I guess we could leave it for now. I do want to show you something. I'm going to get rid of all the lines real quick so you can see this. Now I'm going to go over to the daily. Before I do that, let's look at the RSI. I'm going to put this stuff back on there. As you can see in the RSI, we are in a falling channel here. And depending on which way I put this line, I have it drawn off of these touches here, which I believe is correct. In that case, we'd have one more touch down before continuing up. Now, if we clone this line and bring it down, this is kind of confusing, but if we did that off of this touch right here, then we have touched and we are on our way up, which is definitely a possibility. Like I said, I'm bullish here either way. Worst case, we come down and those lower lows we were talking about would be retesting the top of this wedge that we broke out of, which would be way down here. That's pretty low in the RSI, which would most likely be around that 68.8 range. Now, this is what I wanted to point out about where I think we could be in this move here. This is looking a lot like the bottom we had back here if we look at it in the daily. Something I want to point out is if you look here where we had this drop, came back up, and we had almost like a cup and handle or a failed inverse head and shoulders. And this came down to about half of this move. And if we look back here, this looks pretty much the same. Like we're right in this area. But I do believe we could go down a little bit further. Let's put the fibs on here. From this swing low to this swing high, that got us down to about the 0.786. We went a little below it, not much, but that shows you about where we came on this move. And that's why I do believe we could go down a little bit more here. And let's get the fibs on this from the swing low here to the swing high up here. That would be around the $6,800 range is where the 0.618 would be on, or I'm sorry, the 0.786 would be on this. So that obviously would be dropping below this 0.65. We're going to put a target there just in case we do end up seeing that. But again, guys, as of right now, I'm bullish unless we break down below this triangle line, which right now would be around the 7,200. If we break back below that, chances are actually around the 7185. If we break below this, chances are we could be coming down to these lower targets. But like I said, make up your own mind where you believe we're at. Do you believe that this is going to repeat itself like we did last December? Or do you believe we're done and going to continue up from here? But if we do repeat ourselves, it's going to be around the 6,800. So in between the 68 and 69 would be a good target if this breaks here. But keep an eye on it, guys. Litecoin, same thing. We had this falling channel here, which we popped out of. Tested it for support 1, 2, 3 times. 4 times, actually. We could continue up from here. I think this all depends on what Bitcoin does. If we drop down, then my target is around 41.35, and that's if we drop down below the 43.50 range. But otherwise, I'm still looking at this as a possible Adam and Eve. The same thing we could look at here could still possibly be considered Adam and Eve. Either way, this would be the neckline, and the measured move would be around the 92.34, which is also our resistance line on top. And on Litecoin, the neckline's around the 49.41 range, and the measured move off of that would be around the $58 to $59 range. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave your comment down below to get you entered to win a free t-shirt. We'll be doing the drawing on Sunday. Thanks a lot for watching. Click the CryptoSavy logo above my head to get you subscribed to the channel. Tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos, as I do daily updates every single day. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to smash likes, leave your comments. I'm out.